What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new MOTIV Pride Empire. Here's some numbers on me, here's some numbers on the ball, and here's how we laid it out. The MOTIV Pride Empire is the second iteration of balls in the Pride line, following up on the somewhat successful Pride released a little over a year ago. Headlined by the Dominion core, the combination of this weight block with the all-new propulsion pearl cover stock lands the Pride Empire right in the middle of MOTIV's current line. The hype around this release is all about how angular and responsive it is, which really surprised me. The original Pride was a ball that, to my eye, struggled with continuation through pins. It was a shape that never wowed me, but just always seemed to strike if you were in the right part of the lane. If you missed it in oil, it would shake pins really well. And if you got it into friction, it rolled off of it so good that it just seemed to strike a lot. But I don't know if I ever once saw anyone split the 8-9 with that ball. So putting a highly responsive cover around a core that seemed to dominate the ball's motion front to back was exciting. So exciting, I invited my other friend Ben to test the ball with me. And once I got onto the lanes with it, I was confused, to say the least. Maybe the hype got in my head, but I was expecting a reaction that was much bouncier off of the outside part of the lane. The first few shots with the Empire felt like it was completely burned up by the time it got to the end of the pattern and just went forward and was weak through pins. I threw the ball where I thought it would look great and it didn't, so I went on the hunt to find what the ball truly is. Moving inside, the shape of the ball got better as I kept the ball more in the heart of the oil pattern, but it was still pretty over-under. One shot would be flush and another in a very similar zone would flutter at the break point and go forward again rather than continue through the pins. A sweet spot never really developed with my natural swing. Now, if I emphasized my axis rotation, the shape was better. If I slowed down and hit it harder than I normally do, the shape was even better yet. But the biggest key was keeping my angles in front of me. The straighter I threw it, the better it looked. And that result was almost identical when Ben was throwing the Empire also. The more angle he tried to play, the worse the ball looked front to back. But when he kept the ball in front of him, there was easy length and really good continuation and pin action. The Empire is definitely a cleaner option, but that core dominance illustrated in the Pride showed itself when he would leak the ball into friction a little early or miss it inside and still have a controlled reaction at the end of this house pattern. Compared to his Fatal Venom, the Empire was definitely stronger overall, with the Fatal being able to get through friction a bit easier and retain more energy for entry angle when delivered in the correct part of the lane. So with all of that, who is going to love the MOTIV Pride Empire? The first bowler that comes to mind is the rev dominant players. Having a ball that is relatively clean through the front part of the lane but still have a controlled down lane motion is one I think higher rev players will really appreciate. But on house conditions, I think even more than rev dominant players, the low speed player will match up with the Pride Empire very well. The original Pride, as boring as it may have been, was onto something with the way that it handled friction, and having a pearlized complement will allow low speed players to start a little further right and keep their angles a little more in front of them, as they won't have to counteract the over-under a strong cover would give them in those high ratio scenarios. Lastly, I think that there is a big sweet spot for the Pride Empire in a specific sport bowling condition, and that's on shorter oil patterns. In today's urethane dominated game, having a piece that will combat carry down without having to open up your angles too much is a must-have for any tournament arsenal. I have a feeling that this ball, based on how well it performed for both of us when keeping our angles in front of us and the control the Dominion core provides, will be one of MOTIV's best options on pattern lengths less than 40 feet. The MOTIV Pride Empire might not be the ball that they are hyping it up to be, but for the right bowler, this option is sure to turn heads both on the lanes and on your score sheet, and you can pick this up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure to use the discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. I want to throw a big shout out to Brett Spangler for the recommendation on the layout, Striking Edge Pro Shop for the drilling of this piece, and to Dale's Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. Before you go, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews. And as always, remember, having the right ball in your hands, now that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.